Your success in real estate has everything to do with your ability or inability to find ready, willing, and able buyers and sellers on a daily basis. Some of you call this lead generation, some of you call this prospecting. I don't care what you call it. After you watch this video, whether you've been in the business for 5 days or for 15 years, you're going to be a lead generation machine. So what is lead generation? Quite simply, finding, hunting, going after, gathering, fishing for, whatever analogy you want to use. It is you going and tracking down a ready, willing, and able buyer or seller. Too many people get into the business and they think that it's just going to come to them, aka attracting, which we'll talk about later. But early in the business, or if your business is slow, or even if your business is booming, you have got to employ strategies where you go find people who need to buy or sell a home. The good news is, in whatever market you're in, no matter how well connected you are or how well connected you are not, there are people who need to buy or sell a home. Whether you go to the grocery store, the post office, you drop your kids off at school, you go to the gym, it does not matter. Everywhere you go, there is an opportunity for you to generate a lead, to find a ready, willing, and able buyer and seller. So, how do you do that? Sounds great, sounds easy, but in practice, you walk into your office and you think, I know I'm supposed to generate a lead today, but what do I do? Do you understand the idea of multiple sources of income? The wealthiest people of the wealthiest people of the wealthiest people have different streams of income that fill their portfolio, that eventually goes into their bank account so that they can live the life that they want to live. It's the same thing in real estate. When it comes to generating leads and having conversations, you've got to have multiple streams of income, aka multiple lead generating sources that you are funneling conversations into. Let me give you an example. The gym was one. A geo farm could be another. Whether you're using digital marketing strategies or you're going old school and door knocking, in this conversation, I don't really care. That could be another strategy for you. Your sphere of influence, the people you're rubbing elbows with, that could be another great source of lead generation where you're hitting them up or you're rubbing elbows with them, whether that's commenting, liking, engaging with your sphere on social media. Inevitably, they're gonna creep back on you, and hopefully that leads them down the rabbit hole of going to your business Facebook page and checking you out on Instagram and creating top of mind awareness by simply just commenting on their picture. So social media could be one. Internet leads. Yes. Paying for leads. That is generating business. That is generating a lead. You're taking your money to make more money, whether you're doing that on Facebook ads, or you're paying for Zillow leads, or you're in OpCity, or whatever it is that you're involved in where you're paying money to initiate a conversation. Great. That's still lead generation. That could be open houses. This could be old school. Let's go super old school and say for sell by owners. Or guess what? As the market slows, expireds are going to become a thing again. They have been a thing of the past. They hadn't been around in years. It's how I got my business started 13 years ago. Expireds could be a thing again coming soon. Those are old school strategies, and people are like, oh, I don't want to do that crap anymore. Fine. We'll talk about lead attraction later, but right now, lead gen, the whole point of what you do as a real estate professional, your number one job on a daily basis is to have conversations about real estate with as many people as you possibly can. And that's where lead gen comes into play. That's where multiple streams of lead gen come into play. So let's talk about some numbers here for just a minute. We don't like to talk about numbers, but guess what? If you can dive into the numbers, you can become much more successful. How many conversations do you have to find a ready, willing, and able buyer and seller? You probably don't know the answer to that question because most realtors do not know the answer to that question. Lucky for you, I do. NAR statistic, and you may have heard this before, is it takes 50 real estate conversations to find a ready, willing, and able buyer and seller. Now, the longer you've been in the business, the bigger your business, it's probably a lot less. I have agents in my office that they have to have 3 to 5 real estate conversations to find a ready, willing, and able buyer and seller. I have some that have to have 60 or 70. But what I can tell you is, on average, most realtors, especially on the newer side or the slower side, have to have 50 real estate conversations to find one ready, willing, and able buyer and seller. Now, with that ammo, that knowledge in your brain, and knowledge is power, your job, your goal on a daily basis is to get to 50 as fast as you possibly can. Think of it this way. buckets. You've got 5 buckets, okay? Because I like to say, my agents that I work with, you have 5 lead gen sources. So you've got 5 buckets, and you've got to have 50 conversations that you place in those buckets to find one ready, willing, able buyer and seller. And as you pour into those buckets, they get heavier and heavier until they finally tip over into your big bucket down at the bottom, which means you found a client, a prospect, a person who needs to buy or sell a home. So if I've got to spread 50 conversations amongst these 5 buckets, the beauty of the business, and this is where your freedom comes into play, is you get to choose what you're dropping into those buckets and what those buckets are. I want to have 50 real estate conversations in the next 5 days. Great. 10 a day. So today, Monday, I'm putting 10 real estate conversations in a sphere of influence bucket. Tuesday, I'm putting 10 conversations into a digital geofarm bucket. Wednesday, I'm putting 10 conversations in old open house leads, that bucket. Thursday, Friday, you pick the sources, you pick how you spread that out. That's where the beauty of the freedom of the business comes in, but the formula stays the same. There's no wrong way to generate a lead. You've heard that before. I know you've heard that before. The only wrong way to do it is to not do it at all, which is what so many of you are doing. You're sitting back and you're hoping. Hope is not a strategy for success in real estate. Lead gen is a numbers game. It's not the funnest side of the business. That's lead attraction. We'll get there. Lead gen is pure numbers. How many real estate conversations do I need to have to find a ready, willing, able buyer and seller? And how badly do I want to find that person? If you know the answer to that, then you get to pick the buckets that these conversations are coming from. Then rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. Real estate is a relationship game, but it's driven by numbers. Now you should know your number. And now you should know that lead generation is all about going on the hunt. So let's go hunting. Now, what are your lead gen strategies? Comment below, tell us, tell the community what is working for you. What are some ways that you are having real estate conversations by generating leads? What sources work for you? If you have any questions, please comment below. I would love to engage and tell you what works for me, tell you what works for my crew and my agents, saying things that work in our market, and maybe they'll work for you too. And please, if this content is helpful for you, if this helps you generate business, if this helps you grow your business by finding ready, willing, able buyers and sellers, then hit that subscribe button, share it with a friend.